Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I'm its host, my name is Andrei. Welcome you, greet you. This is our 19th lesson. It's about HTML, PHP and MySqL. We will talk about create your table with a query topic. So, let's start for solution of exercise what's my purpose. Match each MySqL data type to each description of some data you might store in a table, and it is a solution. So, not needed, although it would work for the state abbreviation char2 is a better choice because it's usually a little more efficient. When the length of the text value can varchar is a good choice. Make it long enough to hold whatever value someone will probably need to store. When you know exactly how many characters to expect in the column, use char. DAC is generally used to store pieces in addition to other decimal values. These two numbers show how many digits the database should expect in front of the decimal and how many after. You may have answered the date here, but through LVCONs will know the exact date and time. There are arguably other potentially better ways to represent a yes or no value in MySqL than using char1, but this way is straightforward and reasonably efficient. Okay, create your table with a query. We've got all of the pieces what we need to create our table, even a good name, email underscore list. We also have names for the columns of data, first underscore name, last underscore name and email. All that's missing is the data type for each column and SQL statements to tie it all together and create a table. The SQL command to create your table is create table. It begins with create table, then your table name, two parentheses, hold a comma, separated list of all the column names, each one followed by data type. Here is what the command looks like. So, don't forget, remember, you'll find all the code materials of this lesson under this video and the description link to Google Drive. Okay, it begins with a create table, then your table name, two parentheses, hold a comma, separate list of the column names, each followed by data. Here is what the command looks like. And yep, we're still here. Step 1, create database and table for the mail list, but we're almost ready to move on. Let's look on Sublime Text. Okay. The create table SQL command is used to create a new table in a database, and the table name is this, and the column name it is, and the data type of the column. More columns if needed. You don't have to name your tables and columns with an underscore separating words, but it's a good idea to be consistent with naming. Exercise, sharpen your pencil. Write an SQL query to create almost email underscore list table with the 3 required columns of data. First underscore name, last underscore name and email. And you may, if you want, write your answer in a comment under this video. If you're ready for a solution, continue to watch. If not, take a pause. So, this is our solution. Here is the SQL command to create a table. Notice the caps. The opening parentheses open the list of columns to create. Your table name should be lowercase and have an underscore in place of any spaces. The comma separates the columns being created. The closing parenthesis closes the list of columns. The name of the column that stores the email addresses. This tells MySqL that the email column has varchar data type. The 16 means that the text in the host can be up to 16 characters long. The comma separate the columns being created. Your table sum should be lowercase and have an underscore in place of any spaces. Test drive. Create elements database in the table. Execute the create database and create table queries using the MySqL tool to create the Elvis underscore store database and the email underscore list table within it. Did both queries execute without a hitch? If not, write down what you think might have done wrong. Hang on, something ain't right here. I entered the code to create the table exactly like we drew it up, and now I'm getting some weird error. Okay, and the create table statements fine, but the MySqL terminal doesn't know which database it's being created. I am in not good. For some reason, the create table statement failed in the MySqL terminal. Getting the table or card in front of the database or horse. Elmer's all shook up because his create table statements is flawless, yet the MySqL terminal's reporting an error. Elmer has a legitimate problem that has to do with the fact that the MySqL terminal doesn't automatically know which database you're talking about when issuing commands. Sure, it knows that you just created the Elvis underscore store database, but there could already be plenty of other databases stored in the same server. It can just assume you are talking about the one you just created. Fortunately, there is a simple solution that involves telling the MySqL terminal which database you want targeted by all subsequent statements. There are no dumb questions. What's up with a word like this? Prompt get sometimes in the MySqL terminal. This is prompt indicates that you're entering a single statements across multiple lines with this. MySqL is basically telling you that it knows you're still entering the same statement, even though you hit return to break it out across more than one line. Once you finish the statement and put the semicolon on the end, MySqL will execute it. Okay, and then use the database before you use it. So the create table statement will work. Elmer needs to select the database in the MySqL terminal so that it knows what database the new table belongs to use command chooses database as the default database in the terminal, meaning that all subsequent commands apply to that database. Here is how it works. The use command tells MySqL what database you intended to use. The use command selects a database as the default database for subsequent SQL statements. Elmer should specify his database name Elvis store in use statements to select the database and access his new table. The name of the database you would like to use. The use command chooses the database you want to work with. Once you pick a database to use, the other database on the database Several are ignored until you choose to use different one. Okay. Next, describe reveals the structure of tables. We'll talk about this in the next lesson and about test drive. And here is our lesson 19 about PHP and MySqL HTML is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, put likes, don't forget to share with friends and comment. Meditate, do exercise, drink more water for the brain, eat more bananas, nuts and chocolate, and do exercise every evening with read more books on these topics. That's all. Thank you. Bye.